Donald Trump has COVID. Again, I've got the picture of Helena Christensen up because I'm just sick of looking at Donald Trump's face, but hopefully we've seen the last of his face. So this video is not directed at all towards Trump supporters. It's directed towards the people who already know that he's an idiot and that he's destructive. And my main point here is I don't believe it is good to have any sympathy whatsoever for him under this circumstance, and that he needs to be attacked just as aggressively as ever. He's responsible, among other things, for the death of 200,000 American people. I think that's the only thing that needs to be mentioned. You would go to jail for killing one person. He's a war criminal. He should be put in jail. He should not have any rights. Would you wish a serial killer a speedy recovery if they got a life-threatening disease? Honestly? Maybe you would. And good for you then, like, that you've got such a kind heart. But I wouldn't. I remember one person, I met somebody who was like, I'm against the death penalty. How do you feel about it? And I'm like, well, idealistically, of course, I don't want anybody to die. But realistically, there's some bad people out there, and it's just, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to jail them and like, spend money, like, taking care of them for the rest of their lives? So, I mean, of course, nobody should have to have the death penalty, but we have to also be realistic. We have to make difficult decisions. I'm increasingly under the belief that bullies will always cry when you, overpower them. I've seen them do it before. I've known. Look at R. Kelly. He started crying when he got in trouble. I've known people in real life who were complete bullies, and then when they were overpowered, they actually literally started crying. So I have no doubt that Trump will start crying and playing the sympathy card when he's losing. But every time you have mercy on a bully, you turn around, and then they kick you, just like in the movies. It's really silly. I think it was Machiavelli who said, destroy your enemy completely. Or maybe it was The Art of War. And he gave examples of like when, somebody showed mercy to someone who tried to kill them. The person goes away and it festers and they get bitter and then they come back to destroy you. That's like one of the Art of the War principles. Don't destroy your enemy completely. If you're going to attack them, don't leave them, again, give them mercy at the last minute. Now, I've read a bit about Machiavelli, and in my readings I kind of came across a really good principle, which is the difference between realism and idealism. A realist believes this is the way things are. Machiavelli was saying, we might not like this, but this is the way it's always worked. And Jesus or Socrates would say, this is the way things should be. Idealists usually die pretty bad deaths, and they have pretty miserable lives. Realists tend to flourish. Donald Trump would be a realist. And I can bring it down to this analogy. If somebody like a murderer was killing your kids or raping your wife, okay, the ideally you should do something like Jesus or Gandhi would do and say, please, sir, do you really want to do this? Appeal to their morality. Please, sir, don't do that. Because if you kill him, you're just continuing the cycle of violence, and he's not going to have learned his lesson, and there's always going to be another rapist or murderer. But what would you do? Because I'm not going to let my children get killed. And essentially, I mean, Trump is responsible for 200,000 deaths. So what are we going to do? Are we going to let him? Are we going to do the ideal thing, or are we going to kick him in the balls? And the last 4 years have been people backing down every time Trump is aggressive. And I'm just afraid that they're going to back down again. And I'm sorry, don't. Please don't. For your own welfare. Like, I live in Canada, so I'm not in the blast radius. Furthermore, I don't have children, so I don't really have any dogs in this fight. But if you have children, well, this is the world that you're allowing them to, or putting on them. They're the ones who are going to pay, not you. If you support gays, click like. If you respect blacks, comment. If you think women are people too, click the notification bell. And if you care about sick children, subscribe.